right, and we're live here again, World Convention 2024. I have my father here, and of course, Mrs. Master, who is also the mother of beautiful Annabella, who is training out there, who is my baby sister. She'll always be my baby sister. And I have the great fortune to have all of us here together, and we can just talk and express ourselves, and also the story of your love and through martial arts, but yeah, we'd love to hear about all of it. I mean, because there's so many stories and so much to talk about. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and him.
Yes, yes.
So I think...
When did it all start? And if you could share the first time you both meeting. And yeah, I remember, I have things I want to say too, but you know.
We all have our memories,
yeah,
right? Our memories. Well, going back a bit, I started martial arts. So interesting because I started martial arts in Brazil in March 1993, which was when Victory.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yes, when Victory started here in America. Yeah, same month, same year.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's destiny right there.
It is destiny.
They say when you live with purpose, you collide with destiny. And that was what happened. Beautiful.
Yes, and I was supposed to go to school to be an engineer, and halfway through it, I quit to open a martial arts school and to work with martial arts because that was my passion and that was what I loved the most. And then a few years later, in 2000, actually, 2001, I was doing an exchange student program in America, and I got connected to him just to borrow some equipment because there was a tournament and I wanted to compete. So Master Zuna connected me to him, and we met very briefly for like 5 minutes or less. He hooked me up with someone to borrow the equipment, and 5 years later, we found each other again in another convention.
Yeah.
And that's in 2006. And that's when we fell in love, I can say.
That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2006.
Almost,
I was 19.
18 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, 18 years ago.
Well, Master Osuna called me and say, it's a girl from Brazil that she's here visiting and she don't have any equipment. She want to compete in Vegas. You have any student that she can borrow equipment for? And say, yeah, sure. Just let her know that I'm gonna be here to look for me. And then she came and said, and I thought she was a teenager. And of course I was married in that time anyway. It's like, but she was a teenager. Then she came back with her boyfriend and returned the equipment, and she said, can we have a picture with you? And they took a picture with me.
It's great. We have a picture of my ex-boyfriend.
Did you cut that part of the picture out?
No.
It's okay. He's nice.
And then 5 years later, I was with Master Osuna and other instructors in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was in a process of divorce in that time, and I was also very free and sensitive, and all the insecurities that coming with any changes in life. And then was a group of instructors from Brazil, and the master and everybody came and bowed to us, and they know who I am. And Master Osuna is the director at that time of the people from Brazil, and then he go like, "Oh, you met Mrs. Figueroa before?" I say, yeah, I say that, but really I wasn't very sure. And then she was very pleasant, and I say, how old are you? That was my...
I was very cute. Can you tell me?
She was super attractive. She was very attractive.
How old are you?
But, you know, the first rules...
Of course.
It's like, how old are you? And she gave me this look like, 25? Say, oh, wow, okay, then we should have dinner together, I say, and then... trying to anyway, that was the beginning of that weekend. We start to interact, and then I flew to Brazil to see her again, and we never separated from that. And then she stayed in Brazil, and she will come every other week. I will go to Brazil, she will come here, and then to the point that I start to helping her on her school, and she changed the name of her school to a Victory School, and she embraced she translate all the life skill in
I remember
Portuguese,
that.
and
Autoestima. Respeto.
And she did great, and to the point that later was really difficult, the back and forward, and very costly for both of us, and she moved here, and then
well, they stopped me on immigration and they told me I had to go back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
And that was one of the reasons that what happened was that we were coming back together from somewhere.
From Brazil.
From
From
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah.
That was
and-
about a year, 2 years after. Yeah, it was
and they
2008.
stopped her in immigration in Miami, and they pulled her to a room, and I'm waiting for her outside for like 3 hours, and then she coming back, say they give me a visa only for 30 days, and they won't allow me to come back for 6 months, and I go like, oh. Then
gonna make a
and
decision.
then the immigration lady give a little tip to her and say, just tell your boyfriend to marry with you, that way you don't have a problem. And that was
And I
like,
said
great
he
advice.
will never marry me
Because
I know
he
because
was-
you
because
said that.
I
after.
say
You
I
said,
would
"I'll
never
get
marry
married
again. I would never have kids again because I was having 4 kids already, and I
Mm-hmm.
just coming from a divorce or in the process of divorce that I was very bitter about
Yeah.
any marriage.
Yeah.
Then coincidentally that was like a Saturday, and that Tuesday we're supposed to fly to Vegas. And they say, well, we're gonna go to Vegas anyway. Let's just marry. But we never told anybody this.
Yeah.
He told you though,
You did.
a little bit after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have 2 anniversaries because you
Yes.
have one.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
one is March was the
The party.
the party.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other was in May.
7.
Okay. May.
And was coincidentally also May 7, which is
7.
7 is my number on
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
then we have many things with 7, and then it was May 7. And then we went to Vegas and we married at the Little White Chapel. I think we had a package for $129. They came in a limo, pick us up.
Wow.
We have to find that video.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to see
I
that
had a
video.
video, and
Somewhere.
nobody
Yes.
knew. I knew I have like a Tommy Bahamas flower type of
You,
shirt.
you love Tommy Bahamas. You went
And
through
those
that.
days, I was so overweight that I have to wear Tommy
Tommy
Bahamas
Bahamas.
all the time. These guys, they.
Yeah, but there was a look for a while. I mean, people were really wearing Tommy Bahamas. You weren't just the only one.
He was wearing.
She changed my outfit. So
Oh no, she's giving you some style
we
for sure.
we start to travel to Europe, and then she said, "I want you to wear that." I go like, "I cannot fit on those pants, those European style."
Yeah.
That is
You know
so
what's funny?
tight."
Every
Yeah.
time he tries pants, he checks if he can kick with it.
Yeah.
Like
That's the
wearing
first.
them, he's like, "Are they stretchy? Can I pick
Yeah,
up my leg?
that
Can
was-
I
Yeah.
kick?"
Because you got to be ready to kick at
that
any
was,
time.
That was in South America because when I was young, we go to parties and like that in South America and Paraguay. We it's a different lifestyle. We don't
For
have
sure.
a police, and when people knows that you are martial arts and the other guy is drinking, they
They
want
try
to
to challenge you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very typical. Say, hey, karate guy, I kicked your ass.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
very, or I can take you or whatever. And then the
In
first thing
America,
you
it's
do is-
different. Isn't that that's
the
different?
first thing you do is you check if your pants that you wear and you can move, you can kick.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. Then and with those European cut, I feel trapped.
Yeah.
But now
Sometimes
they doing
suff-
everything
suffocating
stretching.
sometimes.
Everything is stretching.
Nah,
Now
yeah.
all the pants that I buy and it's blue jeans that you can stretch. You know, it's a stretching.
Made
The
for
way,
real
yeah.
martial artists.
Yeah. By the way, I love our uniforms that we
Ooh,
wear.
me
that's,
too.
That's and so
This is
comfortable.
Peter Millar. This is one of the
This
best.
is, this is good quality.
Absolutely.
Even the hats I saw is Peter
Yeah.
Millar. This is very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is really nice.
And then so then from there,
Well, from there, I think I kept my school in Brazil
Yeah, she
for a
has
couple
in
of
school.
years.
Yeah.
She has in school, and we're trying to keep it. It was very difficult. Then we're trying to sell it, and actually
We sold
then
it,
we
yeah.
sold it. But then her father was, as a father, protecting her. Say, well, what if she go and move to United States, move with you, and then you guys
it
broke
doesn't
out?
work
Then
out, yeah.
she's gonna have no school, and she's gonna. I mean, it's like I even say, okay, I can give her a life insurance or something like that. But then.
But that was even before that. That
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
conversation
yeah.
that we had before.
Oh, okay.
But then she gonna move and she say, I want to own something. I say, okay, how about this? I'm gonna sell you one of my best school. Actually, was the worst.
No,
school.
you sold.
But he
I-
told you it was the best one.
No, no.
No,
Oh,
I knew.
just-
I knew
okay,
it was.
okay.
I
It was.
told her I have in a school that's
Yeah.
not performing
Yeah.
well, and she took over in
She
school in
changed it around.
Longwood.
Yeah.
And she, after a couple of years, that was the number one
Mm-hmm.
most profitable school we had that year, because she's very talented and she know how to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's very also engaging.
People
And,
gravitate towards her.
Yes, and kids and
Especially,
adults,
yeah.
and especially the parents like her, especially the fathers. They really appreciate her teaching.
Yeah.
I think
style.
it's because I'm also very proper when using the system, and I always did my best to
Yes.
utilize fully
Yes.
the victory system.
She has the engineering mind of that because she is very, very
precise.
precise. That's the
Precise.
word I'm
Yeah.
looking for. Very precise thing, and and she used to now is but she used to suffer when she knows that I request something from my people or I put rules and somebody didn't follow and she say, baby, you know that they doing it different the way you say it. She was because she was very applicant. She apply everything precisely.
Yeah.
You know,
And that also, I think, came from my father when I was in Brazil and I turned my school into a victory school. My father said he knows what he's doing, so whatever he says, you like it or
That
you
must
don't
have
like
felt
it,
good, too.
you just do it. Don't even question. So I was just really
Initially,
implementing.
when you were going to open a martial arts school, how was your father's reaction? Because I know you did martial arts with your father. You went to tournaments and
Right.
very much involved. But how was that initial where, you know, you told him, hey, I want to do martial arts for a living because he thought you're going to be an engineer.
Right.
How was that in the beginning?
Interesting enough, my father was the one who started martial arts with me. I was going to a psychologist, and she recommended that we did something together. He always loved martial arts.
Yeah.
So he went and started looking for a martial arts school, and we started together. And I was 12 at the time. And then fast forward to the point that I decided to own a martial arts school and open my own school, quit engineering school, and go to physical education and biomechanics.
Because in
to get
Brazil,
a
you can't
degree.
have a martial arts school unless you have a degree. Or
Right.
You have,
Yes.
Right?
I was able to because I was in it for so long. So
Okay.
when the rule came, I was able to. I didn't have to go, but I thought I should.
Should know.
Yes, in my family, we grew up. College was just a natural thing that happened after high school.
Progression
So I'm
after
like,
high school.
I'll just now go to college to add something to what I want to do. And I came and I told my parents, I'm gonna quit engineering and I want to open a martial arts school. I'm gonna try to go to this college, and they were like, okay, yeah.
They were for it.
You know, they
right?
were for it. My dad, I borrowed some money from him to paint the place that I rented and all that. But anyway,
What a cute place you had too, because I went to do a
yeah,
seminar
that
there.
was the second place actually.
Oh, that
I
was the second, so I don't
started
remember the
inside an
first.
elementary school, and then a year later I opened the
that
school.
was your first school,
Yes.
actually.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And then I opened the school. That's the one that you went.
Yeah.
And that one, I remember even like my grandparents, I borrowed money from them.
Yeah.
And my grandpa never let me pay him back. My grandma was like, of course she needs to pay back. And my grandpa was like, no.
I had a great chance to meet your grandparents.
Yeah, I
and
know.
What beautiful.
They were
and-
amazing.
And the love they had for each other too.
Yes.
I mean, it's something you strive for in your life.
Oh,
right? So-
absolutely. I grew up watching them, and my parents also very
Yes.
cute, very in love. They're
Yeah.
here, actually.
Oh, they're here.
Maybe we'll bring them.
Oh, my
We'll do some
gosh.
translation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're here. They're coming today.
Your mom always gives me the best compliments. She's so sweet. She
Yeah.
Gaichu.
Got you.
Gachillo. I gotta make sure I say the right word.
Gachillo.
Gachillo.
So,
It's so cute.
just about, I think it was about 2 years ago
Yeah.
that my mom said, the biggest disappointment of your father was when you told him you didn't want to be an engineer and you want to open a martial arts school. And I had no idea because
Yeah.
in that moment he was just like,
He was supporting
okay,
you.
if
He
that's
was-
what you want to
yeah,
do, but
yeah.
do it right,
Right.
And then anyway, he helped me, and then my mom helped me. She was on the front desk. She was helping, when I first opened and all that. So I had a lot of support from them.
Yeah.
And I never knew that there was any disappointment until a couple of years ago.
Well, that's
that
why I
they
was
saw-
wondering what was the initial reaction
Yeah.
from him. But initially, for you,
Yeah.
he was he was on board. But
Yeah.
then realized, obviously, after meeting my father, was like, listen, this guy, he knows
Yeah.
what he's doing. He's
Exactly.
got so much
Yes.
results, and that's
Right.
beautiful.
And it's just beautiful. You brought up their relationship and my grandparents'
Yes.
relationship. When I think we grew up learning that we had to learn to provide for ourselves if we need it, right? But at the same time, I think I learned from watching my parents that surrender to the relationship of trusting each other. Let's say in this moment now, I don't fully work at Victory as I used to. I don't run a school that like I used to run Longwood, for example. And I was there from the morning till sometimes 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, when are you coming home?
Yeah.
And one day
I
he
was
told
the
me,
wife.
he was like, I feel like I'm the
that her
wife.
husband don't come
Are you
home.
coming? Are you gonna stay and sleep at the school?
Yeah, and he would do that because I
Yeah.
would just stay there. But then
Yeah.
once we had our daughter, that changed me also. And luckily, he is our supporter financially, that I can actually divide my time differently and stay home and be with our daughter. Also working the business, but not to the point that I was before, and even started another business,
Yes,
right, with
yes.
women. And because I believe we as women, we're not just one thing. We have all these different sides of us that we need to,
Dimensions and-
that we need to tap into. And I believe martial arts is such a powerful tool to tap into that warrior side of ourselves that gets things done and has that confidence and that perseverance and just really is that action-driven part of ourselves, right? But then we cannot forget that we are women and we are nurturers also, and we love and we care. And bringing that together, I feel martial arts has that combination as well, because we need to also tap into that energy of being calm and focused and also grounded
Yeah.
and creating that community, right? And that's what victory
That's
is.
what victory is. And that's what you do with the women. You create a community that they have so yearned for, like they desperate for that, and then they now gravitating towards what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's a beautiful combination,
It is.
the warrior and the goddess.
I love that.
Yes.
And that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, the warrior goddess. And also
Love that.
with the girls, right?
Yeah.
Like being the warrior princess.
Warrior princess.
Yes,
That's what I
because we're
want.
still girls. right?
Absolutely.
Just like Valentina.
I feel that with my daughter. Like,
She
she
is.
loves to be outside playing. She loves to be active. She's running around, but she's still very girly, and she embraces that.
Very much.
Very much so.
And it's
right?
beautiful
Oh
because
my
that's our
gosh.
essence.
That's her essence.
Because we don't want to move away from our essence, because when that happens, at least as women, we feel
Yeah.
exhausted, depleted, tired, overwhelmed, burned out. Like that all comes. And when we learn to manage those two energies, that's what is powerful. And kids know how to do that automatically.
Oh my gosh.
But we get conditioned through life
Yeah.
to many times just tap more into
Into one
one,
certain- yeah.
which usually for women, when we need to, when
The
we
ability
are,
to shift, you were saying, right?
yeah.
The ability to adapt to that.
Right, and
is-
bring them together, because
Yeah.
sometimes we grow up learning and hearing that we need to be independent and we need to do it all on our own. But at the same time, it's beautiful to be able to have a relationship where we can rely on each other and trust each other, that we both have our roles,
Right.
right? And we bring different
And you
things to the
embrace that,
relationship.
you empower that, and you're just,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
And we complement each other
That's the,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
because we're different. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that we have as a couple, is that we keep that polarity, even I can say, because we're so different, and
That's
and we
what's
embrace each
attractive,
other.
right? I
Yes,
mean, like, to
yeah.
each other's the polarities.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is
Like two
people
sides of
say,
a
"Oh,
magnet."
Yeah. Yeah. They say opposites attract and all this stuff, but really,
Well,
to a certain extent, but not.
Opposite is attract.
but as far as
Opposite-
polarity,
as a
Polarity.
but we need to have things in common to enjoy
Yes.
each other, and martial
Yes.
arts is something that we have in common.
To have a relationship, you need to have thing in common.
Mm.
To have attraction, you need to have something
That somebody that they
That
don't
that
have.
opposite energy,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
then because she has something I don't have and I
Yes.
have something, then that's attractive.
Yes.
That's the
That makes
then-
so much sense.
Then the to keep the relationship, you need to have things in common.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can enjoy that commonality. It's like we had so many things in common that martial art is one of the first.
Martial arts, I would say, also traveling,
Yeah.
experiencing the world.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
like
We're very into personal growth also, so
Yes.
we study a lot. We go to a lot of training conventions and seminars.
meditation seminars.
Yes.
We like to
everything.
travel. We like good food. We like movies, and even in the movies there are action movies. We like to work out. We like to have friends. I mean, there are so many things. We like to shop together, which is
Yeah.
a very unusual, because
Yeah.
most
For a man.
most,
I
of,
actually-
most of my friends they
Yeah.
go like, "Oh my gosh, I
can't spend
hate
5
this."
minutes with it, yeah.
And actually, we enjoy it because first it's because there's a little trick there, because if you thinking and you put the other person first, the law of retribution, the law reciprocity,
yeah.
then when we go to shopping, we always go to shop something for me first. Then she tricked me on this because then we go and say, I want you to have this. I want you to.
I was trying to change his wardrobe.
You did
I remember
successfully.
saying, I want you to buy this.
Yeah.
I want you to wear this. This is gonna look great on you. Then okay, I buy it. And now,
But the other way too, because when she puts something on that you
Of
really,
course.
that looks great on you. Let's go ahead and get that.
Yeah, we have fun.
Now,
Yeah.
usually, then we say, okay, we're gonna have to go to shop for you, and then that would be 3 hours. My usually is 30 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, because what do you want? It's because men, we are different. I know what I want, or if I don't want it, I say to her, just choose one for me. Whichever you like, that's what I want, and it's fun. And now we move on, but we enjoy the experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how about with the martial arts now? I mean, being able to, knowing that that's what brought you together and knowing what we're able to do now with it here in our convention, the growth of victory. I mean, you maybe weren't there on the first day, but you've experienced victory in every level. I mean, with
from cleaning the bathroom to working on social media.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I mean,
yes.
because you've experienced it. So, what do you feel like this is all? I mean, this weekend, for example, what does it mean to you?
Well, for me, it's beautiful how it's almost like a full circle to me. Like even like the fact that now I'm having my parents here present, right? Like that was the beginning for me in my martial arts journey. And now seeing you and Janet and Victoria and Elise and Annabella, we're all here. We're all as a family together. And for me, martial arts was, the meaning of it for me was always family. My family, the school, you know, the families at the school, the victory families, and now our family all here together supporting and growing together. So for me, that is the special part of it, that we're all here connected. We have the same mindset, I believe, that we all want the same thing.
Yes.
We want victory to continue to grow and prosper, and also giving the opportunity to other people to experience what we have experienced through
How much
martial
is given
arts.
to us.
Yes, yes, because it changed my life in every possible way, from me learning to take care of my body better. And even when I was just starting, I was 12, being a teenager, right? Like I would see my friends going partying and even like drinking or doing other things. And I always, because of martial arts, I made a decision that I was going to live a different life. It's going to be healthy, and I take care of my body, and in every single way that I can.
You're so health conscious. I mean,
extremely,
the foods you
yes,
eat with,
yes,
and
yes.
So, and then
very much so.
and that's a big part of
like food, what I put on my body, like even like the kind of makeup I use, lotions and all that, cleaning products, to the environment and what I put in my body as far as foods, and all that, I think, is a reflection of me having that awareness around what I need to be able to perform better martial arts, because I want to take care of my body, because this is where I live right now in this life. And this is the only body I got. So I really cherish that. And I maximize it and ripple that to my family right at home. And actually, as we're talking about health, if I can say, I've been in this journey of not eating sugar for 4 years now, right? And I found a product that was created by a friend of ours that is delicious. It's like a chocolate milk, and it's extremely healthy. And we decided to do a partnership with him and make that the Victory Power Shake. And we're launching in this convention.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah.
And all the proceeds from that are going to our foundation, our Legacy Foundation, where we have helped the kids.
Can we talk
Paraguay.
a little bit about that as well?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially in Paraguay. And that's, I mean, I was born there, but I moved when I was 2, so I have an experience, obviously. But
it all started.
how did it all start?
It started about, say, 7 years ago. Annabella was around 2 or 3 years old, and we cleaned up a lot of her toys and we brought to Paraguay to give to some of the kids. So that's kind of how it started. We would go to different like churches or little orphanages and give away her things. But we would also then later started buying food. We saw that they needed food, so we would buy food and more toys and go and distribute, because it was close to Christmas time. So we would give that to the kids. And for a few years, we kind of silently, is that how you say?
Silently?
Silently?
Silently.
Yeah. Did that.
Yeah.
And then every year on our birthday, we would ask for some kind of donations to like a different association. And then a few years ago, he said, baby, why don't we ask for donations to take to Paraguay instead of giving to another foundation here that we don't even know? So we started doing that. And that was about 3 years ago, I think. No, 4. Yeah, it was 4 years ago. And we just said, okay, if we raise $5,000, we'll match. And then that year we raised like $12,000. We're like, okay, now we got to match that. So we were able to contribute with $25,000. And then the next year, like, let's raise 25.
We want to double.
So we wanted to double. And last year we actually raised over $50,000 and we matched. So this is one of the heart of our foundation is that whatever we raise, we match. And now we're using even...
You've always done that, though, no matter what charity. He's always said, I'll match whatever it is that's raised. Right?
Yes, yes. He always did that.
Yeah.
But now...
we're doing more casual way. And also, I want to explain something because people have opinions about that. Why you need to tell people when you do something for others, okay? You don't need to. But what happens is when you have, if I say, we're going to donate this or we're going to match this, other people get inspired, or even just the vanity of other people say, hey, I want to do that too.
I want to be a part of that too.
Or that will to contribute, right? We all have that. We all have that need also.
The reason that we make it more public is because that way we can entice other people to join us. But if we do it private, nobody
knows about it.
I mean, the impact that we were creating when we were quietly doing it
is much
as
less.
Opposed to now. I mean, it's huge.
And that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last year, we helped over 6,000 people.
For those people that receiving the benefit, they don't care how we were able to do that. What they care is that they're gonna receive it, and we helping, and we had.
And now we have a project of building a school.
Now
in Paraguay, we bought a piece of land. No, don't say building. It's a little house. It's a very tiny little house. Yes, and we just received it now in March. We went there to officially receive the building.
Yeah, I would love to go.
Yes, and it's beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to bring a lot of hope to those people because in South America, especially Paraguay, I noticed is very different than here in America. The government really doesn't give any support.
They do it, but they use it for themselves.
Yeah, but also people work very casually. They all work, like, let's say they harvest a little bit of food and they go and they sell it, or they make some handmade little pots, or it's very primitive. So for them to actually have an income is very, very hard. So we want to give them the opportunity to learn maybe a different craft. We'll teach them maybe some woodwork or some gardening or cooking or whatever it is. We're still developing that, but the idea is that we can give them some hope to create their own future, because up to this point we've been giving them food because that's really what they need.
Food and clothes and
mattresses, heaters, like things that they need.
Necessities that they need.
Basic necessities.
Yes, and there are like orphanages that we help. I mean, children who don't really have anything.
Yeah.
So
I saw videos and how emotional it gets, and it just
very emotional.
touches your heart.
It's very emotional.
Like,
when people say, what did you enjoy the most when you travel? Because we travel, we've been to maybe 90 countries and different, and when we go to nice places for many reasons. But then the people say, what is the most rewarding? And usually it's the time that we spend like 3 or 4 days in a row from early in the morning to the evening.
It's like a 12-hour days.
Yes. And I have a whole group of, my brother organized with my nephews, that they organized for like 2 months. They fill out warehouses with the stuff and divide everything. They work really hard.
They work hard. They call the different places that we go visit, and they ask what they need, and we buy exactly what they need, to the shoe size of the children,
that's next level.
Nutrition. Yes, it is next
that's
level.
That's your precision.
Precision. Yes.
Well, I had a brother like that.
He's like that.
Which one?
Henry.
Oh, man, the life of the party.
Yes.
I love him like that too. Very precise.
So I think my invitation this weekend, if I can, to visit the booth and find out more about it, and also
the Power Shake.
The Power Shake will go. It's 100% going to that.
Power Shake.
Power Shake. Yeah.
I like that.
And it's delicious. We're going to be giving samples. We're going to be giving away samples Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely.
I want to go back to you as how the relationship helped. the quality of our life is based on the quality of the relationship. And for me, as the leader of Victory and the founder, I have to be the role model of what I want my people to be. And the first step is to work on myself, to increase my personal growth, and not just on my job, not just on the financial aspect, not just on the physical aspect, but I need to also increase in my relationship. Then by meeting my wife and having such a fantastic relationship, I think is a good role model for other partners and other student instructors that they maybe, and we have cases that we help them, they were in the verge of separation, or on the verge of are not enjoying their marriage or enjoying their relationship, and because of that living such a good, then we can help them to
And there's been cases that way.
Yes.
Oh,
where
absolutely.
That
Yes.
completely.
and that is something that I
That's
feel
fulfilling.
very fulfilling. Yeah.
It's like that little cartoon that had a panda, and I think it's a tiny dog on top of the panda. And he asks, Panda, what is more important, the journey or the destination? And Panda says, the company.
The company.
Whoever you have on your side,
Yeah.
right? Then no matter
Who you
where you
taking along
go,
with
it's the journey will be beautiful and the destination will be beautiful because
Yeah.
you have the right person or people next to you,
Absolutely.
right?
Oh, this has been beautiful.
Thank you.
I know. I don't know how long
I wanna
it
come
went.
back.
I know.
Yeah, just
feels
we're coming
great.
back tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an honor.
Thank you so
Love
much.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you
love
much.
you.
Right.
Thank you.